I may cuss, but I don't curse. Let's get that situated first. Collected people. I feel like today's tarot reading is justified. I haven't done one of these in a little minute, and I feel like we should all get this reading for us. So come on and bring it on in, bring it on in. This could get a little lengthy, so just letting you know ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna look at the blind spot first. We're gonna see what we don't see, you know what I mean? And we're gonna see why we're not seeing it and all of that. We're gonna unpack this. I'm gonna get the messy deck out and all of that, you know? So, let's get into it. Let's see what we got in the blind oracle deck. Oh, this is popping out, so we gotta take that. The number 11 card. What that mean to you? It look like a Hanukkah candle thing, you know what I'm saying? But not accurately, because there would be more candlesticks on that, you know what I mean? But I do see a all-seeing eye, the pyramid, Egyptian, American. It's up to you where it's at, you know what I mean? I don't know, but the number 11 could be significant in your life. You might see 1111 a lot lately, you know what I mean? You could be a life path of number 11. I also see the downward pyramid as well, as above so below. We got circles out there, meaning completion, cycles perhaps. The Neptune signal is in there too, the symbol of Neptune. You see it? Y'all see that? Yeah, stop playing. So I'm already getting the sense that this has something to do with dreams or imagination or someone's bigger picture, someone's vision. Maybe it's forgotten, but we're going to look at the number 11 and get the definition from the book. How about that? So, number 11, free will. Free will. If you have drawn this sigil, what you are currently not seeing is that you are out of touch with your free will. This means in your life in general and in the situation at hand, you need to take responsibility in some way and take actions as a result of that responsibility in order to feel free and empowered. See, I felt like there was something that was dealing with your imagination or something that is about your dream. You know what they say, when you got a dream, you got to manifest it too. So you got to apply what it is that you want in order to get it. So freedom is a sense of being able to think, speak, or act according to what we want without hindrance or restraint. Freedom is something that all people value, and it is something that all people need to a certain extent. It is also a guarantee that because we live on a planet with other people, we will experience the loss of freedom at certain points in our life. Free will is essentially free choice. No matter how much freedom we seem to lack in a situation, we always have it because we always have choice. Even if that choice is not a choice we want to make. That's a bar. Even if we are choosing between two things, both of which we don't want, now is the time to get back in touch with that freedom inherent in whatever choice you do have and can make. Responsibility is the opportunity to act independently because you are the one who has the duty to deal with something autonomously. This makes you the one who is accountable. Responsibility is also required to achieve an aim. Not taking responsibility is like standing at the end of a bowling alley, hoping someone else will throw the bowling ball for you so that you don't have to be accountable for the result of doing so yourself. This means you will fail in every aspect of your life. You will be incapable of following through to achieve something. Responsibility comes with a certain kind of pressure. We could consider that pressure the price of free will and autonomy. That pressure is only worth it to people if they can see that they get something positive out of taking on that pressure. Some of the things a person could get as a result of taking on that pressure, for example, are authority, self-esteem, a sense of personal accomplishment, control, and rather ironically, freedom. Free will has so much to do with what makes you as an individual feel good and what is right for you specifically. And if you have drawn this sigil, you may have trouble chronically in your life with desire. When we are young, we have no problem following our feelings and thus intrinsic motivation to the ends of the earth. But when someone our survival depends on make that selfish or otherwise wrong, or makes it too hard for us to achieve what we desire with our free will, we suppress those emotions as well as motivation. Basically, the person who struggles chronically with desire and free will has learned that it is not safe to want. Pretty soon they have no motivation to speak of. They don't know what they want. They become apathetic. If you peel back apathy and look at the root emotion that is actually there, the root vibration that causes apathy is despair. Bars. You know what I'm saying? The complete loss or absence of hope. This is sheer powerlessness. It is the ultimate form of discouragement. But this perception of powerlessness is not accurate. It is the residual perception you adopted from childhood experience. You are the young elephant who was tied to a tree that it could not move. But you are that elephant that grew to an adult that is fully capable of uprooting the tree you were tied to, but you do not do it because you will believe that you cannot, because you still believe, that you cannot. If you have drawn the sigil, change is not in the hands of anyone else in the situation. You can't wait for them to do something to get you to where you want to be. You need to make choices, no matter how difficult, to become aware of your free will again. It is your life. You came here to live it. You can be free, but freedom comes with great responsibility and difficult choices. See, I felt that, you know what I mean? Because I've been on that vibe, that type of timing for the past week or so. And let me tell you, it has been so liberating to be on that type of timing, because this is something that I understood as well. And it was like I was faced with one of those situations where I had to choose out of two choices that I didn't want to necessarily do. And I chose to do one of them anyway. And here I am feeling proud and loud about it. Like there's nothing else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my life. It's my movie. I am the director of that movie. It's something like I said in the Scorpio reading today. Might want to check that out. But it's like, yo, yeah. No matter what, you got to bust the dope moves to make it happen out here. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times people succumb to the pressures of life that are external, and they kept making choices that were outside of the choices that they wanted to make. So then they're just like, man, that's what life is about. Making choices that you have no control over because other people run the world, the powers that be, yada, 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 yada. And that is not what this card is saying here. That is the feeling of despair. And we got to snap out of that for those of us who are in that. And this could be in any area of your life. You may have it figured out in other areas, but you still don't have it figured out in that particular one. And this is why you're listening to this reading right now, because it's that particular one that's probably going to push you over the threshold to everything that you desire, because desire is a real thing. It's personal, like Mars rules over it, and you should have it. Why should you deprive yourself of the things that you want? And I mean everything that you want. I'm just keeping it a bean. So let's bring the messy deck out here, because I want to see the messiness. I want to see what's really like grinding the gears. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to draw 3 and then let it heat. Bars are nice from this deck to see what's under the tree. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with it. So I'm going to check the vibe with the messy deck right now and see what we got going on. Boom. That part. So first we got legal, lawyers, court, paperwork. Exhausted, burnt out, burdened, empty. Followed by thrills, continuous cycles, bad decisions, and addictions. All right, so what I'm seeing here is this. People from the outside looking, because people are in your business, but these are people that you don't necessarily know like that, but they know your name. It's kind of like being in a penitentiary or in the legal system confined. It's like they know you by number, you know what I'm saying? Until they call your docket, then they get to see your face, and then they get to read your file, and then they know all about you in that very instance. But it's not like they care to the fullest degree. It's just another paycheck. It's just another day at the office. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations. Some of y'all are experiencing something that revolves around paperwork. It's in the legal court system, something along those lines. Some of y'all got some child support stuff to clear up. Some of y'all got civil cases on y'all right now. Some of y'all got criminal cases pending. Some of y'all also, like I'm hearing, need to get like entertainment lawyers or put a lawyer on retainer or get some advice from them, because you're trying to do something that is huge, and it's like you're trying to take it on all on yourself. Like you might even be trying to use ChatGPT or AI to get all of the answers and draw up documents for yourself, and I'm being told that that's not the best thing to do. I'm being showed that humans do still have again, free will, right? It's about being an individual. It's about the soul, the sun. people still have power on this earth, regardless of all of the technology that's out here. And you should, because you're exhausted at this time right now, you should be using that AI and that technology for the other things that need to be handled. Because I feel like also what's being said here is that this thing that you're working on or that you've worked on that is so huge, it has you burnt out, but it's actually going to be able to take care of all of the legal situations if you have them pressing. All right. For those of you who don't have legal issues pressing, you need legal counsel. So it's either or. It might even be both for some of y'all. But if you do have legal cases or something pending, this thing that you're working on is going to get you through all of that. But you can't give up, because I feel like you feel like this is nothing left to do. And this is why free will is so important right now. You feel like, man, I've done all of this, but I feel like alone. I feel like y'all feel like you've done all of this. It like sucked out of your life. It like sucked your life out of you. Like, pause, yo, that's crazy. But you know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like you work for the system. You work for the earth. You no longer work for yourself. But that's not true. That's not true. And people are expecting you. And I'm hearing this loud. People are expecting you to go back to like an old version of you, or just like call them up and be like, you know what, I just want to go out, let bygones be bygones. So you feel like reconciling with old friends and stuff like that to go hang out. They're expecting you to make some bad decisions, like, you know, time is up, like, we only getting older, it's not going to happen for me. Let's just go out and have fun like we used to in the old days. And if you do that, that is going to be the ultimate definition of despair, that hopelessness that was spoken about with the 11 card. It's just like, you really gave into that. You really put in all of this work to like give up now and to say, you know what, this is too hard. I feel alone. I feel empty, so I'm not going through with it no more. This is what transition is about. This is what it feels like, right? So like I said, you're the director of this movie. How are you going to expect other people to fill your cup and that makes it all right to live your life? Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that, especially at this point. But let me pull some tarot, right? Because tarot might either clarify what I'm already saying or have something more to say about that situation or about this ideology, about this, this whole thing here, you know? Queen of Swords in reverse. All right. So this Three of Swords out here in reverse is the exact thing that we've been speaking about the feeling of hopelessness and despair. I feel like the emptiness that you feel from being burdened is something, some travels are best walked alone. And separation is going to be one of the hardest things that you'll have to do in your life. And the quicker that you see it that way, the quicker that you'll be able to receive everything that's on the other end of this obstacle. Because when transitioning occurs, right, Saturn and Jupiter rule, they're the transitional planets. So sometimes, it's not even sometimes, this is like a rule of spiritual law. When it's time to expand for something that is huge, like we was talking about before, there's something huge going on in your life, but it just doesn't look that way, and it doesn't seem that way, and it feels, it's almost there, but it's just not quite there yet. And it's because you have to come to terms with first that everyone can't go, and the reason being is because in order to transition, the correct people have to be in alignment with you in order to do that. Jupiter won't expand in the transitional sense unless you have the correct people to move in that alignment with. So there could be instances where patience is needed for people to change their ways and behavior, so then they can enter the fold with you, right? And then it makes better sense because they have matured now, and you're not looking at that person the same way. Like, man, that person gets me in trouble whenever we hang out. And when I talk to them, they give me this vibe of, they still on that other shit that I'm not on anymore. And I don't know if they're a good candidate to, tell them about this, that, and the third. Your hunches be right. That's Jupiter talking to you. Like, listen, man, when this thing grows, it's going to grow. Pause. Hey, yo. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the Ten of Pentacles comes out right after that. Everything that you deserve, everything that you desire. And I even feel this for the black sheep, like disconnected families, being looked at as, the awkward one, the ugly duckling, even though you're beautiful. But you get what I'm saying, right? The black duck out of all of the white ones, and you know what I'm saying? You're in the pond, the swans, bars are nice. We know that already. But it's just like, you can even do a 180 with them, you know what I'm saying? Or just create your own family and inherit that for yourself and say, you know what, my bloodline starts here or it continues here, you know what I'm saying? Or just, if you got your kids already, you're like, yo, you know what, this is my second run. Like, I got another run in me. I'm going to get my boo, my babe, my love thing, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to make this happen, But prosperity is on the other end of getting over the heartbreak. Sometimes the heartbreak, and I feel like for most of us, the heartbreak is not necessarily due to a relationship. The heartbreak is more about the separation, knowing that you have to separate from the love that you used to feel from everyday confidants and acquaintances, But that's what it's about. And there's someone in your life that lacks compassion. They don't see the bigger picture. And I feel like that is what's weighing heavy on your mind as well. Like, this is someone that you know well, you've known for some time, but they look at, like, they laugh at your creativity. They've laughed at it before. Like, they've made little smart comments and stuff like that, but they're supposed to be your friend. And you've come to terms like, your friends don't talk to you like that because you've met strangers along the way now that they see your vision and they with it. They like, yeah, this is cool. Like, we could make this happen. But you got people who've been there that don't feel the same way. Now, you talk about anything else under the sun that's probably related to them or deals with everyday life, the mundane things that you have taken care of, by the way, on your own. And you're still in the process of doing it because remember I said the whole legal situation and stuff like that, and you got a big dream, a vision on the way. And you're taking the responsibility, but you still have these people tugging on you from yesteryear. And that's what's causing you to become stagnant and relinquish the reins to something or someone. Spirit is even saying, look, I can only do but so much because this is your movie. You got to act, and you should act now. You got to bring it out. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, some of y'all are looking for love right now. And I also see that that's not the wisest decision. Because with the Ten of Pentacles out here saying that you can inherit those things already or that type of relationship anyway, there is the sense that you can have love and it could be free-spirited. Like it could be you're loving this one today, you're loving that one tomorrow, you're loving this one the next time, and then it's just like, that may be true, but you have to come to terms with precisely how you want to live your life in that arena. If you're on the fence about whether you should be monogamous or if you should be poly, you need to figure that out before you can start looking for love, is what I'm saying. And the way that you're going to be able to clarify which it's going to be is Do you feel resistance when you're trying to be monogamous, or do you feel resistance when you're trying to be poly? And whichever one brings you the harmony, and whichever ones feel like true love, meaning you don't have to work hard at it. It's not something you don't feel like you're fighting the other person to be involved with their life and trying to get them to come on board with you. It's not one of those things, you know how like your spouse, your significant other, your lover can challenge you to be a better person and stuff like that. That's one thing. But if they're the nitpicking type and they're the something's always wrong, or there's always an issue, or there's something that you need to change about yourself in order to be with them, this is where you have to question yourself. Are they that important in your life to where you should change to be with them? Do they bring that much to you? And if they do, then that's a cue, bars, to make those necessary changes. But if not, if this is just some control mechanism, or, I know you want me, I know you like me, therefore, you're gonna behave the way that I need and want you to behave to make me happy, then you probably should not be in a situation that is monogamous. You should be in a situation that is more free-spirited and brings harmony to your life. Now look, when you make this decision that's based around, it's really wrapped around love, right? What makes you feel good? What makes you feel like you want to engage, makes you want to indulge? Once you make the decision of who those people are or who that person is, the news, which is the good news, is going to be received instantaneously. All of the right messages are going to be coming into your life like you planned it the whole entire time. But you got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. And you got to tell yourself, listen, I'm going to be making decisions in my life that are boss decisions that I make. Not that we make or not that you make. We can coexist. But I'm telling you right now, if you're not in the room, or if you're not on the phone, if you're not on the email CC, BC, if you're not in the text thread, if you have left the chat, then you have left. Don't expect anything more from me. Because I'm moving in harmony. I'm keeping my vibe vibing. I can't no longer wait on other people, because that's what brings me to despair. That's what brings me to grief of saying, man, I thought we could have made it. I thought we could have did it. I thought we could have. And then it's just like, nah, because you're the director. You are the director of this movie. So you got to navigate it. You understand what I'm saying? And then the harmony comes. The harmony comes. And yes, travel is going to be involved in this. For those of y'all who feel like, man, you haven't been out the city, the state in a minute, you haven't been out the country in a minute, or maybe not at all of that is going to change as well as soon as you make that decision. So some of y'all, I feel like, are in relationships or situationships right now that you just need to come clean about it and say what it is and do what needs to be done about that situation. Whether it's put a ring on it and say, yo, marriage is a business. You know what I'm saying? So we carrying it like that. We're not going to be playing these hokey pokey games, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it because I feel empty. I feel burdened. I got too much on my plate as it is. And for you to be another burden in my life, that's not a marriage. That's not a relationship. That's not nothing that's helpful to me. So I'm not going to lay back while you take center stage in my life, in my movie. I'm the main character. Yeah, I know that shit sounds narcissistic or what have you, but listen. Some people, I just seen this girl's video the other day. I forgot to subscribe to her. She was doing such a good job of sticking up for men. Like, I was just like in awe. I forgot to subscribe. I'm gonna go back and subscribe. But I was just like, listen to her go. Like, she's really talking that talk right now. Like, she was so well versed in knowing what it is. She said something like, I want my man to tell me what to do. Not like on some devious, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, manhandling, go sit over there in the corner and make my food or something. Not like that, but I want you to feel in charge. I want you to be in charge. I want you to lead. I want you to do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? For the men who are listening to this, I'm feeling like you're in that situation. And also the women that are in a situation that do things confidently. If your man is fearful of that or scared of that, Again, if it's not harmonious and you got to shrink yourself in order to fit into the mold of being loved, that's giving up. That's a feeling of despair. You feel like the situation is hopeless. You feel like you can't do no better. And that's not true. That's not the type of life that you want to live. That's not what this reading is saying. This reading is saying you deserve what you desire. Now go out and get it. You know what I'm saying? And again, for those of you who feel like, oh, I need to change in order to get it, then that's what you need to do. If you need to change in order to be with someone because they on a different level and they vibing at a different frequency, then do that too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You can use some change in your life if it's about transitioning. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm pulling from the Dragon deck. I haven't used this deck in a while. Dragon Wisdom deck. It's one of my favorite decks too. I used to love it when I first got it. I still do. It's just I haven't been doing in-depth reads like that lately, you know? But here we go. We have the Water Chalice out here. Emotions are involved. At least that's what it looks like anyway. But let me read the definition, alright? Just in case I'm missing something. Definition missing. Yeah, that's bars. Stop playing with me. So the Water Chalice. Oh, this may take a minute. Hopefully this is in alphabetical order. See, yes it is. Nice. Alba, the queen of all dragons, is white as freshly fallen snow, and her scales are set with thousands of sparkling diamonds. She is the guardian of the four holy chalices, the protector of the four elements, and warden of the holy hall of baptism in which these chalices stand. This very day, the great white queen has invited you to take part in a baptism in the element of water. The baptism is a rite, a rebirth, a ritual cleansing. Baptism is the threshold from the old to a new way of being. See what I'm saying? Prepare yourself for this ritual by washing and dressing in white clothing, and prepare your room. Light several candles and play some pleasant music. Make yourself comfortable. Lay the card on your heart and close your eyes. Now visualize yourself standing before the great chalice. 3 steps lead up to the water chalice, but take your time. Visualize laying aside your clothing, then mount the 3 steps and climb into the chalice. Dive in and let yourself sink deep inside. Water is the cradle of life. Wash yourself clean of all your limitations. Water is the fullness of all possibilities. Feel the holy water of the chalice on your skin, how it carries and surrounds you. You sink into the floor of the chalice where you let go of the unbeliever within you. You hear what this is saying, right? Your clear intent is sufficient, but strengthen it with your inner voice. I am letting go of the unbeliever within me right here, right now. Repeat these words several times if you need to. Now rise to the surface of the water chalice, filled with a new awareness. Anything is possible. Make these words your mantra for the rest of your life. You've heard? And with that being said, these cards are read. Until next time, I'm out.